Om Sri Mahaganapate Namaha. Om Sri Saraswate Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Lokashankaram Samastajana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha Om Sri Tapo Vasishyaya Namaha. Hari Om. Let us chant the Santi Patha of Chandogya Upanishad. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani Jasarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Ma Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranamastva Nirakaranam Me Astu Tadatmani Nirateya Upanishadsu Dharmaha Te Mai Santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. We are doing Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter. We are in the second khanda of the Upanishad. We have done first mantra, I think. I want to give a very quick summary of some of the concepts that we have learned so far. In the Upanishads calls Brahma or our true essential nature, Sat Chit Ananda. It calls it as Sat. It says Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asi. That is the essential nature of the whole cosmos from which everything manifested. And it manifested by Ishvara, which we call God. Who is Ishvara? He is Brahman plus Maya. Now, what is the relationship that this Brahman is all pervading infinite presence? Does he have Maya as a part of him, or is he something else? No. Maya is a nothing but unmanifested names and forms, but it operates taking Brahma as a support, Brahman as the support. In itself, it has no power. So it is more like a illusion on a medium, like on a movie screen, which is Brahman, and the movie is playing on. But movie is Sat and Chit. Sat is provided by the screen. Chit is lights. But the play is happening because of Maya. But there's only screen is there. So Maya is not a part of the Brahman, but it appears as names and forms. Okay, number 2. So Maya is also called Mithya or Prakriti. Some of these synonyms are there. So it is not definable as existing or non-existing. This is like a appearance of a ghost in a post. I may explain last class. As long as you are only looking at the ghost, you don't even see the post. Similar to a snake on a rope. As long as you're only seeing the appearance, your mind is preoccupied with the appearance. So the creation is just an appearance in Brahman. And that appearance is known as names and forms that we give. But Brahman is always there, unaffected, changeless, ever. The three. Now that Brahman is our true nature, whereas Ishvara uses the karmic tendencies of all the jivas as the raw material to create us. Because he is a creator. Just like I create my dream, we all create our own dreams using our vasanas. Ishvara uses all the unmanifest tendencies in all of us to create. As a creator, so he is actually impartial. He is only giving karma phala. 4. Now, the emanciation or the moksha is attained right now, according to Vedanta Shastra, if we realize who we are. So we are, according to Vedanta, Sat and Chit and Ananda. Sat is that undifferentiated, essential oneness, uncontaminated by mind or intellect or body. All of us are Sat before we define ourselves. Not only that, even this book is Sat. But we define it as so and so. But it's only is. When you do not define anything in terms of names and forms, you are that. Those definitions are in the mind, including your body. Chit is essentially awareness. So basically, Sat and Chit is being and awareness. Uncontaminated by projections. The projections are by Maya. So we are a product of Maya, are projecting also. Including our own body is a projection in us. Now the process of Vedanta, once you define the basic terms, you don't get it. None of us get it. So the teachers, they use a technique called Adhyaropa Apavada. The technique of Adhyaropa Apavada is they add something on the definition of Brahman so that you see Brahman and what you added. So your mind is now taken away from the millions and millions of objects in the world to Brahman and something projected on it. That projection, teacher adds to it. That's called Adhyaropa. Intentionally, it is done by scriptures. And then it is removed. When it is removed, suddenly you realize. So, a beautiful example is excuse me. In Aparokshanbhuti, verse number 139, I will just chant it and explain. Karyehi karanam pashet, paschat karyam visarjayet. Karanatvam tato gachet, avasistam bhavet munihi. So basically, this mantra sloka is, let us say take a pot. What is pot? It's an effect. What is the cause? Clay. But your mind is not on the clay because your mind is only on the utility. So pot has utility and you are used to calling a pot. You don't even never thought about cause. But then Shastra first gets your attention to the clay. From the Nama Rupa, which is the clay, which is the pot, they tell you, you feel it. every part of it, wherever you put your hand. What is that? It is only clay. So then you say, okay, next step is this is only clay. It's not clay and pot. It is only clay. It is just appearing like pot. Paschat karyam visarjayet. Now your focus is now on the clay. Once you focus on clay, the pot has no meaning because it's just an appearance in clay. Because all the clay in the whole universe can make numerous pots and vases. All the items of made of pot are nothing but pot. Clay. So you remove the particular appearance called clay, pot, and then the clay remains. Because it is only cause. There is nothing called pot. It is just in the mind. And the third step is, if there is nothing called pot, then only clay is there, so there is no cause. The karanatvam is because of the imagined pot. The fact that you have imagined there is a pot in the clay, now that is the effect and this is the cause. But now when you remove the effect, then what the meaning of cause has no sense. The word cause has no sense. It is just clay. There is no effect. It was never there. It was only in your mind. So what remains? Causeless, pure clay. Exactly same thing with consciousness and Chaitanya, Chit and Sat. You remove everything you added by names and forms in thoughts, in body, in intellect, and then all the Atmastuti we do, self-praise, and Paraninda we do, all this is ignorance. What remains? Muni, the silent, observant, pure existence. Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. It is possible because we added that. Bhagavan Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, I have to take extra time because some of these concepts, after listening to many times, they actually get digested. Once they get digested, you actually get free, become free. You don't keep on indulging unnecessary thinking because you know it is only adding ignorance, is strengthening the ignorance. So Bhagavan Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, I just want to, this sloka, Dhyato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangaha Teshu Upajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Komat Krodho Bhijayate. Verse number 62, chapter 2. As we think about objects, Dhyato Vishayan Pumsaha, as a man, a human being, keeps thinking about the objects, Sangaha Teshu Upajayate. Attachment develops in them. It is not natural to consciousness. You add spice to yourself and then you complain. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Out of that repeated indulgence, desire is born. Then anger and everything comes after that. Kamat krodho bhijayate. If you don't get what you want or if somebody else gets it, you get anger. So this is how it works. So what is the solution? Bhagavan himself says, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjan rasopyasya parandrustva nivartate. This is also in Bhagavad Gita. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah. Anyway, in the same section, Vishaya, verse number 59, chapter 2. Vishaya vinivartante. The one which you keep on repeating now, if you don't keep on feeding it, it will leave you. Niraharasya dehinaha, the person, he, you and I, dehinaha. If you if you don't feed it, it will leave you. What remains? You remain. You are at that point expand. Actually, as you perfect this technique, you keep on expanding. Things that bother you would decrease. Frequency of things that bother you would decrease infinitely if this teaching takes hold in you. Even if they bother you, you quickly recover. Because Krishna, Krishna, what is there in this? It is only in my mind. So actually you expand. So Muni is nothing more those who use reflective person. So then you remove, just like a Karana is being removed, the whole universe is imposed on you by yourself. And Bhagavan is only keeping you there because he has no option, because you want it. So apavada means you actually take it off through using Shastra. So Shastra also describes a creating process. Knowingly it is mithya, but it tells you it is based in Atman. That's the way. That's the reason difference. So slowly you develop a capacity to see yourself, to see your thoughts, be it free, and then you expand. Perceptions become objectified. They are not you, they are in me. I'm not in them. That clarity happens because you have this strength of the scripture in your heart. This is a theory. Okay, I'm just summarizing whatever I've been already telling you in order to reinforce before we go further. Actually, I will just quote one sloka from Durgdrsha Viveka, sloka 30, to emphasize the truth behind it. The sloka is Dehabhimane galite vijnane paramatmani yatra yatra mano yati tatra tatra samadhaya. Shankaracharya is clearly right. if you if you drop preoccupation with Sarira, which is subtle body. Today it will come what is subtle body and all these Sariras, and then establish yourself in your true nature. Yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadhi. You see God, presence of yourself everywhere as consciousness. Satan. Tatra tatra samadhaya. You are always in samadhi. This is Vedantic Samadhi. Even in the middle of world, you can see Samadhi. Samadhi means not reacting to mithya. Mithya means unreal objects which arise in you. These definitions are important. Keep on to repeat. Every whole thing is everything arises with you. Okay. Now, this important recap. Then we go to the today's mantra 2 of section 2. Can you please project that? Okay, that's true. Mantra 3. Mantra 3. I was mistaken. Yeah, correct. That's correct. Okay. Good. Thank you. Okay. तदैक्षता बहुश्यां प्रजा ये येति तत्तेजो सृजत तत्तेजो ऐक्षत बहुश्यां प्रजे येति तदपो सृजत तस्माद् यत्र क्व च शोचति स्वेदते वा पुरुषः तेजस एव तदध्यापो जायन्ते. I will chant again. तदैक्षत बहुश्यां प्रजा ये येति तत्तेजो असृजत तत्तेज ऐक्षत बहुश्यां प्रजा ये येति तदपो सृजत तस्माद्यत्र क्वच शोचति स्वेदते वा पुरुषः तेजस एव तदध्यापो जायन्ते. Last week we just said the first two parts of that. So let's go to now you can okay. Tadaikshata. The tat means sat with Brahma. Create, sorry, with Maya. So he is Ishvara. Maya is what? Our cosmic tendencies, unmanifest. Aikshata shows this is a conscious element, creative power. That consciousness indicated Aikshata. Aikshata means it saw. What? Aikshata means saw, but it thought in this context. It thought. Bahusham prajayeti may become many. So imagine the cosmic universe in existence consciousness. Now that consciousness is telling itself may become many. So that Sadeva Saumya Idamagra, only consciousness existence is there in the beginning. Nothing else is there. So how can it become many? It will project within itself all the possibilities. Last week I read Shankar Bhashya to explain that. So in appearance in it itself. It's called Prasthanam, Bhagavan Shankaracharya. Just appearance within itself. So body, this is an appearance, this is an appearance, this is an appearance. You are all appearance in Brahman. We are all appearance in Brahman. Moola Karana is Brahman. Shiva, you can call it. Narayana, you can call it. Shakti, of course. Shakti has a different connotation. So, then Durga. So, basically, that is pure presence. So, within it, because Bhaushyam Prajayayati indicates it is a material cause because there is no other material. Because it is thinking, it is also intelligent cause. Just to make a pot, you need a potter as well as the clay. You need two. In the transactional world, potter makes the pot and he leaves. But in the spiritual realm, Brahman, Ishvara is the cause as well as the maker. And he remained there, he is in your heart. You are in him. World is in him. Right now. So, Bhaushyam Prajayayeti. It indicates both in efficient cause like a potter as well as the material cause like the clay are both together. Only Brahman is there. Okay. So he is able to becoming many because of within him Sushti happens. And then what did he do? Tat Tejo Asrujata. He created Tejas means Agni. Here in this series, take it as subtle form of Agni. It's not gross, not the Agni that we see in the world. That is called gross. It will come in the next mantra, next section, how it forms, the gross mantra, Agni. But now here it is called subtle Agni. The subtle elements make our mind, by the way. And the grossified subtle elements make our body. Okay, so subtle Agni is it created Agni. Tat teja aikshata bahushyam praja yeti. Now tat teja aikshata. Here, now teja is created by Bhagavan. Now, if I earlier I have said it is a creation of the projection, now how about teja is a mithya? How it, no, it includes Bhagavan. Bhagavan never left. As I said earlier, he is a material cause as well as efficient cause. Bhagavan is still there. Let us not forget. In the world we see differently because our mind is like that. Okay. Limited by objects. But so Bhagavan Tat Teja means Bhagavan who has created Teja, and now the Teja Aikshata, the Teja means the Agni principle, it's not Agni grossified, Agni principle, let us say, Agni principle with Bhagavan together, Bahushyam Prajayet, it thought, may I become many. The process of evolution is being. Tadapo Asrujata, from Agni, water is born. Water principle is born. Subtle water, not gross water that we see. It's called Tanmatra. Now here, the Upanishad gives couple of examples to skeptics like us. How fire creates water. Very interesting. This is an amazing thing about Chandogya Upanishad, chapter 6. Very nice, very well taught, beautifully explained. A lot of points are well given. The two examples are Tasmat Yatra Kva cha Sochati Svedateva Purushaha Tejaseva Tad Apo Adhijayate Jayante. Here two examples. Wherever or whenever somebody grieves, grieves means tapa. There is heat generated in the body, some certain degree of anxiety, anxiousness, and fear, whatever may be the cause, heat is generated. And what is the result? Tears come off. They are also warm visually. Therefore, wherever there is tapa, anxiety or excitement, dukkha, tears come out. Because out of heat of the body, it evolves, comes out. That's all. Svedateva. If there is a very, very hot, what does body do in response? It sweats. And so heat precedes the effect called water. So these two examples are given to just impress upon us. But we don't know, but it is a fact. We don't think that way, but it's a fact. Ta apaha is a plural. Apaha is a plural. Let's say taha, sate taha. Taha apaha is also Strilinga. Aikshanta has seen. Bahvaha syam prajaye mahi iti. May I become many? See, water, principle water, Tanmatra water itself cannot think. But don't forget efficient cause and is already there. Brahman is never left. He has never left us also. So the creation also is always there. So Aikshata means Bhagavan has thought actually. Bahvasyam prajayeti, may I become many. Ta annam asrujanta. It created annam. Here annam is not actually the food annam we eat. Annam is prithvi here. Prithvi means the earth element. The principal earth element. Not the grossified element. But again, example is given. One example is given. How water creates earth. Tasmad yatra kwa cha varshati. Yatra means wherever. Kwa means whenever. Varshati, it rains. Bhuistam annam bhavati. Here, annam means actually grain. Bhuistam, plenty of, whenever it rains, plenty of grain is born. There's no rain, no chance. So, annam is born as a cause from water. Cause and effect relationship. If the cause precedes effect. If cause is not there, effect is not there. Effect is similar to cause. Not exactly not, but then it could transform also. But if you take it out, effect is not. That's all you need to know. Bhavati. Advayeva tad annadyam adhijayate. The annadyam that we eat, annam, is therefore is a product of water, is a conclusion. Here, a question comes. Purvapakshi asks a question. The question is, wait a minute, wait a minute. We have learned from Taittiriya Upanishad, Tasmat ekasmat akasha sambhutah akashad vayu vayo agni agne apaha. So he's before Agni is born, asma etasmat akasha sambhutah. Space is born. Elemental space is born. Akashad vayu. From that vayu is born. How come here you are saying directly Agni came off? Purvapakshi, the Pandit who is studying, listening to the, he asked this question. It is in the Upanishad. Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives answer. Because the Purvapakshi is asking Nanu, but Tasmadva etasmad atmanah akasha sambhutah Taittiriya Upanishad. Iti Shrutyantare akashat vayuhu tataha trutiyam tejaha. In that order, fire is a third. Shrutam Yiha kadham pradhamyena tasmat eva teja sujjate. How come you are saying this is from the first product? Iti viruddham. This is not, it doesn't agree from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Then Bhagavan Shankara is saying, na esha doshaha. It is not necessarily a defect. He is correcting it. Siddhantam. He's saying, Shankaracharya is saying, Akashad vayu sarganantar tat sat tejaha asujata iti kalpanopapatte. You can say it is possible that it came after Akasha and Agni. You can say that. Adhava avivikshata iha sustikramaha. But the point is, the idea here is not to explain you the order of creation. Here, in this particular context, we are not trying to explain you the order of creation. You can say if you want to. You can say Agni is the first, Vayu, Akasha came, then Vayu came, then Agni came. That is okay. If you want to say, you can say. But that doesn't make any difference here. Because our goal is not to explain Srushti. Different Upanishads explain Srushti differently. And then they remove it. They are apavada. The main point here is Satkaryam idam sarvam ataha sat ekam eva advitiyam ityetat vivakshitam murdad dushtanta. The main point here is everything came out of the existential consciousness bliss. That's the main point. Don't miss that point. Rest of it, the detail, you can, if you want to, you can add it up to you. But the main point, don't miss the main point. Sadeva Saumya Idamagrasit, from there everything came. That is the main Satkaryam Eva. Even now it is there. Murdad, why Murdad Drishtanta? Drishtanta itself clearly said, this is the purpose of this text. The cause precedes effect. Now that cause is Brahman. Where you start is up to you. But the end is important. Don't forget the main message. अथवा त्रिवुत्करणस्य विवक्षितत्वात् तेजो up annam eva sustim ajasti. But we are going to explain further, only 3 items are going to mix and create gross world. That's all, that is the other purpose. So that is the other possibility also. But main point is, don't forget, everything is starting from Sadeva Saumya. From existence consciousness. Don't forget that. If you, 5 or 3 doesn't make any difference. That's what he clarifies that. Then he explains some more. Rohitam, so he says, of course, I don't need to go through that, but Tejaha has three characteristics. He says, Dagdru, Vaktru, Prakasham, Rohit. It has four characteristics. Then he says, Apaha has also Dravaha. It has ability. It is a Drava means it takes a shape wherever you go. Snigdhaha, it has wetness. Sandinyaha, it flows. Suklaha, it is white. Okay, these are some of these things come in the future. That's why I just mentioned it. So there are so so don't get mixed up. It's important to know because some if you quote this, somebody else will quote something else. But the main point, don't miss. That's what he's trying to say. Now, before we go to next mantra, just 1 second. I want to make sure I get them. This is the next mantra is chapter 3. I just missed it somehow. Section 3. Yeah, section 3. So the Srushti so far has we saw the Srushti of Sukshma elements, subtle elements. Okay. Before I go into details, we have to understand some basics. It's very important in Advaita, in Vedanta philosophy, or even where many of Indian Hindu systems. Srushti is at the base level, it is called Karana. Karana Sharira. For example, deep sleep is Karana Sharira in the case. Karana Sharira is also a product of Srushti because where vasanas are unmanifest. At individual level, the person who has the Karana Sharira is called Prajna. Deep sleep, Prajna. Prakarshena na janati iti. You don't know anything. That is called Prajna. But you exist. That state, illumined by God. God is still there. Don't forget, God, we can be without God. That state where you know you are, but your mind is not there. You know things are there, but you are there. That illumined by God is called Prajna. Now, how about the cosmic? For the cosmic cause, Ishvara. He has the database of all our karmic tendencies as Karana. So he's called Ishvara. So in the causal level, without cause, that is why you wake up. If their cause is still there, vasanas are still there, that's why you wake up. Otherwise, all of us would like to sleep all the time. Because there is no stress. So causal level is still there, number one. At causal level, prajna at the individual level. At the cosmic level, prapanchik universal level, it's called Ishvara. He has a database, whereas we are bound to our vasanas, whereas Ishvara is free to use the cosmic vasanas for creation. He is not bound. The next level in creation is called subtle body. Subtle body, mind, intellect, prana, all these things come. The subtle body at the individual level is called Taijasa. It has the dream state, for example, Taijasa. Subtle body projects it. There is some illumination in it. That illumination is Bhagavan's grace or whatever it is. But you are the medium to project it. That medium, in the presence of Bhagavan, actually it's called Chidabhasa, because it is called, illumination is called Chidabhasa, and that particular entity, the subtle body with illuminating capacity, is called Taijasa. Now at the cosmic level, all abilities of all thoughts, all people, all subtle bodies, creative power, intellect, thought, cosmic level, whose operator of that is called Hiranyagarbha in Vedanta. In Puranas, it's called Brahmaji. Chaturmukha Brahma. In Vedanta, he is called Hiranyagarbha. Then, then you come to the subtle grass body. Use now the subtle body has the sense of katrutva, doership, and also bhotrutva, enjoyership. But when you have those katrutva and bhotrutva tendencies inside you, that comes from karana sarira, they reflect in your sukshma sarira. You want to do something. To do something, you need grass body. That the grass body abhimani is called Vishwa in Vedanta. Then the cosmic grass body, Abhimani, is called Virat. Virat Purusha in Vedanta. So now creation is all of these. All grass bodies at the individual level and the cosmic level. All subtle bodies at the individual level and the cosmic level. All causal bodies, Karana Shariras, at the individual level and the cosmic level. Okay, that is creation. See, when we come, we are born with all these things, and the world is already there. Because Hiranyagarbha has created this. And then we don't know, but Vedanta Shastra, they do all this research. They will tell you how to reinvent yourself, go through all these layers and go back to the source. So this is important. Now, let me mantra. Now, this is the third section. We completed 2 sections. Now we are going to third section. Third section, first mantra. Can you project it or do you want me to proceed? Third section, first mantra. Okay, let me go ahead and chant it. Tesham kalvesham bhutanam त्रीण्येव बीजानि भवन्ति अंडजम जीवजम उद्भिज्य इति उद्भिज्यम इति. I will read again. तेषां खल्वेषां भूतानां त्रीण्येव बीजानि भवन्ति अंडजम जीवजम उद्भिज्यम इति. First mantra of the third section. Here, the Rishi, Upanishad Rishi, here it is Uddhalaka talking to his son Kvetaketu. Tesham khalvesham bhutanam trinyeva bijani bhavanti andajam bijam udbijyam iti. Here, tesham bhuta khalu esham bhutanam. For these, bhutana means those that came to exist, like thus. In Shastra, bhutana means that has come to exist in a grassified state. So the grassified state, behind it, there is the power of consciousness is there, the power of prana is there, Chit is, Sat is there. Those are all called Devatas. So if suppose you are worshipping sun, you are looking at the physical grass, Bhuta, that came to see. But you are worshipping not that physical body, which is helium, hydrogen, and bunch of other chemical reactions and energy and all that. No, you are only worshipping the intelligential cause are called devata behind it. When you're offering tarpanas, you are offering to the devata. The devata is connected to you through consciousness and also power of surrender and emotion. And it will bless you. If you don't have that, it is just a matter. Then it has no effect on you. Same thing with Pitru Seva, Matru Seva, Samaja Seva, Bhuta Seva, all of these things. They all have gods behind them. That God is not capital G, but it is only a power or energy, you can call it, to manifest something to help others. As mother has love, that is the power of mother. Matru Devo Bhava. That power, that love power is called Deva. Selflessness, love. So the Devata is there behind every Bhuta. So as Bhuta, which is means the matter, as the matter comes out of the essential self, which is, as I said, Sat and Chet, it loses the apparent capacity to manifest the divinity. But the divinity is there, whether you know it or not. Everybody is divine. Everybody is Shiva. Right? So here, Bhutana means the physical encasement that appeared already. Tesham kalve trinyeva bijani bhavanti. For all these Bhutanam. So Ishvara is talking to himself. He's saying these. We had a discussion on this in Sankara Bhashya. He's saying Esham. So the creation has not yet happened. How is he saying Esham these? Because he knows as a Karana Sarira, as the causal state, Ishvara is who? Cosmic causal body. As a cosmic causal body, he knows all these potential jivas. That's why it's possible. There are three types. So you're already thinking that way. What are they? Andajam, Jevajam, Udbijam iti. Andajam is those that are born of egg, like reptiles, birds, amphibians, like that. Jivajam means those who are born of other jivas, Jarayusam they called, out of womb, like cattle, humans, like various, we know. They are born, even dogs, they come out of the Garbhakosha. Cats, like that. Udbijam, those that come out of that sprout, out of seeds. Iti, three are given. So all those things which eventually are into these three categories only, they are all only three types. Classification, Bhagavan has. From Karana Sarira, he was seeing this. Because this is what the plan. Eventually, this way will go. Tesham khalu yesham bhutanam trinyeva bijani. Only three causes are there for all their final appearances in physical level. And what are they? Andajam, Jevajam, Udbijam, iti. When you say iti, Bhagavan is thinking to himself. Now, some people say, why didn't you miss something called Svedajam? There's a fourth variety called Svedajam. That means that's born out of sweat. So, again, the point is not for, every Upanishad doesn't have to exactly identical. Some of them skip some things because that's not the main point. You can say that way. Otherwise, some people say Svedajam is also part of Andajam. Eggs are still there. We don't see. For bacteria and all those things, they come out of certain amount types of, you know, um, so that. And actually, a opponent asked a question, Bhagavad to Shankaracharya, why are you saying Andajam? It's not born of just a egg, you know. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, no, no, no. The egg is also born from the bird. So although it is Andajam, it is actually referring to the Pakshi, because the Anda by itself is not born by itself. It has. So he's saying it's referring to bird, not Anda. Anda means egg. Andajam is the bird. So Banda, the birds is one form, you know. So that is the cause, not the Anda. So he explained. Shankaracharya is unbelievable. Some of these questions people ask, he answers beautifully. You know. We're not going to that, but that's the point. So basically, the plan is made for the final product using the causal level information. Okay, that is the first mantra. Now, second mantra, Seyam Devata Aikshata Hantaham Imastisro Devataha Anena Jivena Atmana Anupravishya Namarupe Vyakaravani Iti. I will read it again. Seyam Devata Aikshata Hanta Aham. Yes. Seyam Devata Aikshata. Oh, yes. Hanta aham imastisro devata anena jivena atmana anupravishya namarupe vyakaravaniti. Okay, good. Thank you. So here earlier it said bijani, no sorry, bhutani means physical. Here Sa ayam devata aikshata. Here now, as earlier I said, behind every manifested, there is a principle called devata. Small g, not capital G. For that is what we worship. Now all these three, Agni, Apa, Annam, three, he already created them. They are called devatas because they have God in them. Along with God, it appears to us. God never left. So from looking at from the God's point of view, it's called Devata because it has limited capacity of Agni. That capacity is given by God. Just like sun, capacity of sun is given by God. But that capacity is divine, part of divinity. So that Devata, those three, Aikshata, they have told, Hanta aham imaha tisro devataha anena jivena atmana anupravishya. Bhagavan has said now, may enter these three devatas. Anena jivena atmana anupravishya. So here, Bhagavan is always there. He cannot be without God. But he entered these three. Here, this entry is described beautifully in Shastra. It is like a reflection in a mirror. I take a mirror and then I see my face. So I am illumining with my face that particular reflection. But I am still here. But I activate that. And that mirror is my body, my mind, all these things. And depending upon the condition of the mirror, my face looks different. But I am reflected in that. Whole universe is nothing but reflections of only one God. But each one of them is different because of their individual nature of the mirrors. But each one of them is illuminated by same God. But they see differently based upon their condition of the mind, which is the mirror. See, anupravisya means abhasa matram, just like a mirror, reflection. Bhagavan Shankaracharya exactly it's the same thing Ajay mentioned. Now here you have to look at this way. Suppose you have a water, a lake, a water. Is there light? Yes, light is there everywhere. That is God, common. So in all of everything is pervaded by consciousness and sat. But within the same lake, there is also a reflection of sun. That is special appearance. Common appearance is also there, and also special appearance is also there. And the special appearance is called reflection. Common appearance is called God. So God is not entering anywhere and going anywhere. But you are taking the reflection in your subtle body, and then you are using that divinity for transaction. They call it Visesha Anubhuti. Individualistic subtle body behavior. So Anupravisya. Anupravisya here indicates subtle body creation. Subtle body creation includes all the Taijasas, all the individual subtle bodies, and also cosmic subtle Hiranyagarbha also. Then Nama Rupe Vyakarana Vyakaravani iti. Now, and then here next thing is may also create Sthula Sarira, Nama Rupa. So Bhagavan is thinking himself, may enter the subtle body. He is just thinking to himself. Iti means he is telling himself, may I go into subtle body. May I also manifest Sthula body, Nama Rupa. By entering. Okay. Then again he is thinking, Tasam Trivutam Ekaikam Karavani iti. Now he is thinking himself, okay, now I will combine these three, Agni, Apa, Agni means fire, Apa means water, and then Prithvi. I will combine them into as a triplicates in order to create each one of them will be a mixture of other two, all three. I will that's called triplication. Karavani iti. I will do that. Okay. So we will take it, reminder of this mantra next week, because then on Monday, because we have other classes going on starting at 8 o'clock. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om